Good day, folks. Sean here from Air Photography. So over the past month, we've seen a lot of new action cameras released from all the major brands. We got the GoPro Hero 13 Black, the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, and most recently the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. In this video, we're going to do a comparison of all three cameras. We're going to talk about some of the key features of each camera, things that might make one camera more appealing than the other, depending on how you're going to be using the camera. And I must apologize, my hands are a little chewed up. I had an off-roading incident yesterday. My face looks about the same. Now, I also want to mention that I'm not going to get overly opinionated in this video. We're just going to stick to the facts, the capabilities of each camera. I'm going to play some sample footage. Everything is just raw right off the camera. There's been no grading to any of the footage, and that way you can make your own decision on what works best for you. Now, to start out with some of the physical attributes, all the cameras are waterproof right out of the box. You don't need any housing in order to use these in the water. When it comes to the size, you can see the smallest camera here is the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. The next size up would be the GoPro Hero 13 Black, and the biggest one is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Now, it's not by much, there's just some slight size differences, but that might be important to some users. All three now have removable lenses, so if they do get damaged, they are action cameras, sometimes they do take impacts. They can all be replaced easily. They all have front-facing screens to help you line up shots if you have the camera mounted out in front of you. However, there are some key differences. The GoPro one is just a display screen. It's not a touch screen. You can't change any settings on it. The Action 5 is a touch screen, so all the settings you can change from the back, you can do from the front, which can be very beneficial in some scenarios. The Insta360 Ace Pro 2 does it a little bit differently. We do have a front-facing screen. However, it just displays different information about recording. If you want to line up your shots, frame your shots, you do have to fold out the back screen. And that can be beneficial in some ways because with it you get a full-size screen, so it can make it really easy to line up shots, and it makes it perfect for vlogging if you really want to see what you're filming and make sure everything is framed correctly. But the problem is if you just want a quick preview, you always have to have it folded out because you can't get a video preview on that front small screen. So it really just depends on what your needs are and what you plan on doing with it. Now, all three cameras are capable of magnetic mounting. This year, the GoPro Hero 13 Black introduced magnetic mounts for the first time. Now, they all work extremely well for what they're intended to do. I would have to say out of all the designs, I really like the GoPro one. It works really well. And the nice thing with the GoPro one is that it is reversible. And that can be important, especially if you have this, say, mounted on something like the front of a motorcycle. You want to change your camera from a rear-facing shot to a front-facing shot. You don't have to take the thumb screw out and rotate the whole magnetic mount. You can just undo the camera and flip it, and it will still connect. On top of that, the GoPro still has finger mounts built into the bottom. So if you just want to pull it off a magnetic mount and then connect it to a traditional finger mount, you can do so without having to do anything else. And on top of that, we actually have a quarter 20 there in the middle. So it is very versatile, and I really like the way they have that set up. And for the other cameras, they work extremely well. The only thing with these ones is that they're not reversible. They can only go on one way. So if you need to rotate your camera to a different direction, you will have to take the thumb screw out and move the whole magnetic mount. Now with the Insta360 one, you can rotate it. When you line it up, the magnetics want to line up that way. If you reverse it, it kind of pushes it off to the side. But it can be forced in, so you do have the option of switching it around if you want. So let's go ahead and talk about battery performance now, because that can be very important to some users as well. All three cameras got a battery upgrade this year. However, I would have to say the Action 5 Pro was the most substantial. Now, according to my testing, I'm not going by manufacturer specs, but my own testing, when recording at 4K 30, the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro was able to record for 2 hours and 43 minutes. So that's pretty impressive on one single charge. On the GoPro Hero 13 Black, recording at 4K 30, I was able to record for 1 hour and 43 minutes. So that's almost an hour less than the Action 5 Pro. And just slightly behind the GoPro is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Recording at 4K 30, I was able to record for 1 hour and 37 minutes. Now with that said, it stopped recording with 5% left on the battery. So it could have gone a little bit longer. I think that's a safety feature they have built in to help prevent damage happening to the battery. Once the battery gets to 5%, it will automatically stop recording. And that was across all my tests at all the different resolutions. So there is a big difference there when it comes to recording time. With the Action 5 Pro, 2 hours and 43 minutes, GoPro 1 hour and 43 minutes, and 1 hour and 37 minutes of the Ace Pro 2. And the really big difference is when it comes to charging. Both the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 support quick charging. When it comes to charging, you can get both the Action 5 and the Ace Pro 2 approximately to 80% in 20 minutes. Whereas that same 20-minute charging time will only get your GoPro to 32%. Now we're going to talk about some more aspects coming up here after, but let's get into looking at some footage comparison. Both the Ace Pro 2 and the Osmo Action 5 Pro have new chips this year, very extremely powerful chips. In fact, the Ace Pro has a dual chip. This is the first action camera that features a dual chip, and that can be really important when it comes to some of these advanced features such as noise reduction or filming in low light. And you'll notice that here when I do some low light comparisons. You can see when I play all three clips, I've just kind of cropped them so they all fit in the screen. Both the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 do a really good job at low light filming. The stabilization's pretty good. The images are nice and bright. There's a lot of detail, whereas the GoPro is really struggling. It's really dark, there's not a lot of texture, and not a lot of detail in the image. And again, that's a lot to do with the GP2 processor that GoPro is using. It's just not powerful enough to apply some of this image processing that these other cameras are capable of. So now I'm just going to play some sample footage from different scenarios. Now, a few more things you may want to consider about which action camera is right for you. If you're going to be purchasing an action camera for vlogging, there are some important things to note here. First of all, as mentioned, the Ace Pro 2 has that flip out screen. That's going to give you a nice large preview, which is really important when you're vlogging to make sure everything is framed correctly. The Action 5 Pro has a tracking feature, which can be very beneficial when vlogging. With it, the software is always going to keep you centered in the frame by using some cropping techniques. So if you're out filming and you don't have the camera perfectly pointed at you, it's always going to be framed nicely. Now it is limited to 2.7K, but for social media and vlogging, that's more than adequate. So these are some nice features of these two cameras when it comes to vlogging. Now when it comes to audio, audio is very important when it comes to vlogging. All three cameras are able to have a Bluetooth microphone connected to it. So if you just want to have a very simple minimal vlogging setup, you can pair something like the DJI Mic 2 directly to each camera without the need of a receiver. The other nice benefit of the Action 5 Pro is you can pair two of these transmitters directly to it via Bluetooth. So for some users, that could be important as well. The other nice thing about the Action 5 Pro is you can connect a microphone directly to it. You don't have to use any type of microphone adapter. Now they do have a microphone adapter available, but it does not need to be used. You can plug a USB-C microphone directly into it. And that includes the receiver from the DJI Mic 2. That can just be plugged in directly like that if you want a more solid connection, more features, and more range from your transmitter. So a really nice feature of the Action 5 Pro. With a GoPro, you do have to use the media mod in order to connect a microphone. And same with the Ace Pro 2, they have a microphone adapter that you do have to purchase and plug into the side. One last thing to do with audio, both the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 have a backup audio track feature. With the Action 5 Pro, when you're recording audio with an external microphone, it'll create a separate audio track using the built-in microphones of the camera. So you always have a safety backup track, or if you want a secondary track because you're trying to capture ambient sounds. The Ace Pro 2 has something similar, except it embeds a second track right into the video. With that feature, when you're recording with an external microphone, it'll record two audio tracks, one from the microphone, one from the microphones built into the camera. You can bring it into the Insta360 app. You'll then be able to switch back and forth or mix in between the two, between the Bluetooth microphone and the built-in microphones of the camera. So when it comes to audio capabilities, definitely the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 have the advantage. The Action 5 Pro comes with 48 gigabytes of built-in memory. Not a huge feature, not going to be important to everybody, but if you're out filming and you fill up the memory card, you know you always have 48 gigabytes of storage to work with. The Insta360 and the GoPro don't have any built-in storage. Now, if you're a person who wants to capture GPS telemetry data, the GoPro Hero 13 Black has a GPS chip built in, so you don't need any additional hardware. You can just enable it in the settings, and it's going to capture all that information that you can then overlay in your videos if you so choose. Both the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 has the capability of using GPS, but you do have to purchase additional accessories. On top of that, you can use things like smartwatches or athletic devices. But with the GoPro, as mentioned, you don't need any of that. You can just use the built-in GPS. Now, when it comes to resolution of the cameras, the Ace Pro is the highest. It can capture all the way up to 8K at 30 frames per second. The Action 5 Pro captures a maximum resolution of 4K, and the GoPro Hero 13 Black can go up to 5.3K. Now, 8K is probably not something that a lot of people are going to be filming in, but it can come in really important in some scenarios, especially if you want to be able to do some post-processing, some cropping and zooming while you're editing. And on top of that, it helps with a feature called Clarity Zoom. All these cameras support 2x digital zoom. Insta360 Ace Pro, when you zoom in 2x, you're not losing any quality at all. Usually with these action cameras, when you zoom in 2x, it becomes digital zoom and the footage gets degraded quite a bit. But because this is an 8K sensor, if you're filming in 4K and then you zoom in 2x, because it's an 8K sensor, you're still having full quality. You're not going to lose any quality at all. So for some people, that could be a very important feature as well. The Action 5 Pro has an altitude and gauge sensor. So for some people, that's going to be very beneficial. That can display information right on the screen. And on top of that, it can actually detect when it goes in the water. So if you're going to be mounting this out of reach because you're going to be doing some water activities, maybe your hands are full, once you go in the water, this thing will automatically start recording. So that could be very beneficial to some users as well. We recently got a firmware update for the Action 5 Pro to allow for higher bit rates, which is really important. All three cameras can now set a standard bit rate or a high bit rate if you want higher quality. Now, another feature that might be of interest to some users is that with your GoPro Hero 13 Black, they have a series of lenses that you can use with it. They're auto-detected, so as soon as you install them, the camera is going to know what lens is installed and automatically adjust the settings. They have a macro lens that will allow you to get some really close-up photos and videos. They have a nice ND filter set that will automatically again be detected once you install it. It'll know what filter is installed and adjust the settings accordingly. And my favorite, they have the ultra wide angle lens. It's this lens here that makes my Hero 13 Black really important to me. And it's really the only time I actually use my GoPro is when I want to use it in conjunction with this wide angle lens. As mentioned, they're all great cameras. Just certain aspects, certain features might be more appealing to different types of users. Now, if there's anything you think I forgot that's important, make sure you add that down in the comments, because I'm sure people who are in the market to purchase an action camera this fall would like to have as much detail and as much information as possible. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and found it had value. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one.